Hey everybody, Rich here from It Ain't Easy Being Rich. It's been a while. I want to apologize about that, but we're going to blame the commissioner for that one, and he'll explain later. But what I'm going to do next is we're going to talk later. You can see I got a Route 66 shirt. Time's coming up. The trip is coming up in September. Getting all excited about it. But what we're going to do first, before we talk about Route 66, and I have an announcement that I want to make, and I'm going to need your guys' help. So I'm going to be begging and pleading for your help. So, well, I'll be semi-begging, semi-pleading. But anyways, what we're going to do first is we're going to talk to the undercasher. You know, our favorite little cashing guy. He's going to be sitting on the couch talking about the latest caches that he's found and give you a shout out. Then I'll talk about Route 66 after that, and I'm going to need your assistance. And then after that, we'll talk about the Commish, and we'll hear what kind of excuse he has for the big delay. So first, let's go to the undercasher. Whoop. Hey, thanks Rich, the undercasher here, your favorite geocacher of all time, maybe. Just going to give you an update. Been doing a little geocaching. What I've been doing is I've been going for travel bugs, getting ready for Route 66. So I'm out and about. I'm only checking out geocaches that have travel bugs. Now the problem in the United States about travel bugs and geocaching is people are not very reliant when it comes to picking up and logging travel bugs. I know. I have about maybe 40 to 50 out there, and I think only about maybe 10 are active. The active ones are, though, and a shout out to Europe for being very diligent when it comes to travel bugs and keep them alive and keep it moving. So thank you, Europe. I got about 3 or 4 out in Europe and the Orient milling around, and maybe in a future episode I'll talk a little bit more about travel bugs, define them a little bit, and kind of explain to you how they kind of work and give you my favorite travel bugs and what they're doing out there. But in the meantime, I have found a handful of geocaches since the last time we did a video blog. So I'm going to give you some honorable mentions. I found about 10 geocaches. I'm going to give you some honorable mentions, and then we'll do a shout out. So, honorable mention, let your imagination run wild. And I'm going to have fun with this geocaching name here. Lempentotier. Yeah, good luck with that one, Rich. Thanks. Well, anyways, it's called Let Your Imagination Run Wild. And it's in Fridley, and it's in somebody's yard, but it's in one of those, have you seen those, the little mini libraries people have been doing in the front yards? You know, getting them nicely done, painted, you know, maybe with a theme or whatever. It's got a glass door to it, or at least a framed glass, so you can see what kind of books are in there. You know, the deal is you take a book, you leave a book, you know, just kind of keep it going. And so the gentleman that put this out, or I should say gentle lady, I'm not too sure, that put this out, had one of those in the front yard. And so if you're a little leery about front yard geo finds, don't worry about this one too much. I did have to go to it a couple times before I actually got the cache in hand, and that's because it's a tight neighborhood and there were muggles around. If you don't know what a muggle is, it's basically somebody who doesn't know what geocaching is. So, and sometimes we want to keep it away from them because we don't know, once they get a hold of it, you know, who knows, they could like steal it, ruin it, whatever. But anyways, the GC number is GC5D AVW, and that's Let Your Imagination Run Wild, Lempentotier. Hopefully I didn't butcher it too much. Anyways, another one, Skunk Works, and that was placed by Guardrail 10, and had a nice fun one with that one. Got a travel bug, GC68HKF. And another honorable mention, Creekside by Langley, L-A-N-G-L-I-E, Langley. That was GC2MCJJ. So, honorable mentions for those 3, but I do have a real fun one that I did get, and I even did Facebook Live. So if you do Facebook, look up me on Facebook, Rich Havlik, Havlik, should be right there. And I check out my Facebook Lives as I was doing some geocaching around, and put this one on there, and it is my shout out to Geary and Company again. Thank you again for letting me put that on Facebook. But anyways, it's a tribute cache, and basically somebody will put some caches out there and say, hey, good job, geocacher. So this one's a tribute cache to Dragon Eye, who found 11,000 geocaches so far. Yeah, I'm at, what, 1,200? So, yeah, so he's like 10 times been at it more than I have. But Geary and Company put that out there. Some really good fun bushwhacking. Bushwhacking means you have to get off the trail, go through the grass, go through the trees, go through the forest. So yeah, we call that bushwhacking. So some very fun bushwhacking to get to this geocache. And I got there, and if you watch me on Facebook Live, if you go back on my Facebook to check that out, you will see that I struggled for quite a bit for a while, shut off Facebook Live, then I found it, and then I went back on Facebook Live and kind of showed you how I found it. So, Geary and Company, shout out to you for this awesome cache, and it's GC5G48Z. Again, GC5G48Z. So, thanks for putting those out there, guys. And next time we do a geocaching update, I'll talk about travel bugs and how they work. And maybe I can show you what I found so far, some cute ones, some cool ones. And I'll talk about some of the ones that I have out there. So, alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's get back to Rich and him maybe scolding the commissioner for something. I don't know. Here we go. Hey, Rich here, back talking about Route 66. Thank you, Undercacher. And thank you for that shout out. Hey guys, it's July, middle of July. In 2 months, I'm going to be hitting the road to go to Route 66. I got a problem. Because of certain circumstances, I was not able to save up as much money as I wanted to for the trip. So, I'm asking for your help. If you're watching this, I got enough right now to maybe last a week, to start in Chicago, go for a week. I got 18 days off from work. Alright? So, right now, if I was to leave for Route 66 right now, I'd only be able to last a week, money-wise. You know, with hotels and food and geocache and all that, I'll probably get through Illinois, maybe get through Missouri. Or maybe touch Missouri, who knows how long it'll take. But I'm asking for your help. And, okay, I know the videos are mediocre, and I'm kind of proud that they're mediocre. I think I'm getting better as time goes on, but my plan is, when I do Route 66, is videotape a lot. Do a lot of video vlogs. And so I can kind of get you caught up on what's going on in Route 66, give you some history, get some sites, do some geocaching, you know, just have a lot of fun. And I want to present that to you. And just hopefully it'll inspire you to someday go to Route 66 as well. I think it's going to be a great trip. I'm going to go as far as I possibly can until I run out of time or money. I'll probably run out of money first. And stop where I'm at, come back home, and then next year pick up where I left off. So, but right now, the original plan was I got 18 days off in a row. I was going to head off to Chicago, maybe couch surf with some relatives. Start out with Lou Mitchell restaurant and just kind of go from there. And the plan was I was going to go about a week, and then we're all halfway into it, and then my girlfriend, No See Becky, who you'll never see, was going to fly down to St. Louis and join me in St. Louis when I get to that city. And then we were going to go together and go as far as we possibly can. Right now, it looks like I'm only going halfway. So what I'm asking is for some of your help. If you want to help me produce video, get it on the blog form, what I'm doing is I'm starting a GoFundMe deal. Alright? So, GoFundMe deal, I'm going to have you go to GoFundMe.com, look up my name, Rich Havlik, and I got a goal. I know we're not going to reach that goal, so don't worry about the bar line going across and reaching the goal. I mean, if I could reach it, that would be great. But I'm going to have a goal. If I can get so much money, then I can feel safe and secure that I can do the full 18 days vacation on Route 66. So this is the deal here. Go to GoFundMe.com, look up Rich Havlick, and this is what I'm going to do for you guys. All right, for every dollar that you put towards me on the trip, so I can fund the trip and go on it, I'm going to spend a third of that buying paraphernalia along Route 66. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to spend about a third of what you guys donate. So I can get you some paraphernalia and present it to you personally if you live in the Minnesota area, otherwise I'll mail it to you. Now, what I'm going to do for the top 3 contributors for Route 66 is I'm going to set up some personal time between me and the top 3 contributors. Do a dinner, do a lunch, get together. I'm going to put some videos together that only you are going to see. Some private videos, some fun stuff, and with your permission, after everything is said and done, after I meet with the three people that help me out the most, and then maybe air it. We'll talk to you about it. I'll let you do a little editing too in it as well. So you'll be a part of some of the videos. Be the top 3 contributors, and I'll spend some special time with you. You get to pick and choose what kind of paraphernalia I find out. Remember, for every dollar that you donate towards my trip, I'm going to spend a third of that getting you some fun stuff on Route 66. All right, you can put down $5, $10, much more than that. But remember, the top 3 contributors are going to get some special time with Rich, that's me, and talk about Route 66 and tell you some stories before it comes out in video. And maybe put some videos together that only, that just us 4 will enjoy. All right, so again, go to GoFundMe.com, look up my name, Rich Havlick, and please contribute. And I will keep you up to date on the blog on how we're doing there and what it's going to look like. If we get enough money, I'm going to be able to go the whole time, be able to fly the girlfriend down and enjoy the second half of the trip with her. So, and she's going to be my cameraman because you're never going to see her. You'll hear her, but you won't see her. So, all right. Before I let you go for the rest of the blog, first we're going to talk to the commissioner. Commish, what is up and why has it been so long since we did a video? I understand you're at fault. All right, Commish, take it away. Boop. Thank you, Rich. Yes, it is I, the commissioner, and the one reason why it's been so long since we've done a video blog. Well, let me tell you why, and I hope you forgive me. All right, please forgive me. But what this been going on this summer is fantasy football stuff has been happening. I'm in a number of leagues. Let me name them off. Radical Armchair, Awesome Island, Majestic Island, Empire Island, Simply Irresistible, Easter Island Leatherheads, and my work one is Easter Island Leatherheads. But most of those are dynasty leagues, and I'll explain what a dynasty league is versus other leagues. And I started a new league as well, an Empire League, aka Empire Island. So what's been happening the last couple months? I've been drafting, and I've been doing the commissioner thing. So let's start out with the general information of what a fantasy football league is, or different types of leagues there are. One, there's the redraft league, the most basic one. You get a bunch of people together, you draft players from the NFL, quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight end, kickers, defensive teams, and it's called the redraft because what you do is you have a draft at the beginning of the year, so many rounds, and then you play the season out. You can pick up players, you can trade players, and then you have a fantasy bowl towards the end of the season, week 16. And what happens after the season is done? It's all done. It's everybody's rosters are swiped clean, and everybody redrafts again the next year, brand new. Anybody that you want to draft, possible, I guess you could say, and you just do it all over again the following year. All right, so that's the most basic one. The next one is a keeper league, And that one is kind of taking a redraft league a little step further, or a little differently, as you could say. But you have your first year, you draft players. And you play the season. You can waive and pick up players. You can trade players. But what's a little different in a keeper league, at least the one that I play in, called Simply Irresistible, is that after the season is done, instead of wiping the slate clean, what you do is you get to retain some of your players. And then Simply Irresistible, we get to keep one quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, a kicker, and no defense. And then you can pick any player from your roster outside of that to keep. And then when the next year comes up, what we do is we have a draft. We draft 5 rounds to pick up players to fill up our rosters. And we have what's called a rookie draft, where you get to draft NFL rookies and put them on your taxi squad or developmental squad. And when they're ready to play with the rest of the big boys, what you do is you bring them from your taxi squad up to your regular roster, and you can start playing them. And that happens year after year. In fact, Simply Irresistible, I'll talk about more of that history of that one at another video blog. But in the meantime, so that's a keeper league. One of my leagues is a keeper league. The next step up from that are called dynasty leagues. Your very first year, you have your draft. Everybody fills up their rosters with players. You play your season. You have your fantasy bowl. Week 16 is preferred. And that's what the commissioner. This is the commissioner's corner, and I'm just letting you know that's the best time to do a fantasy bowl. But anyways, so you have your fantasy bowl. Seasons end. But unlike redraft, where you have a clean slate next year, and unlike a keeper league where you have part of your roster saved for next year, in a dynasty league, you save all your players. You don't have to waive them. You can if you want to. It would be kind of foolish. But, you can trade players. And when the draft season comes around, guess what? We have a rookie draft. So, I'm a commissioner of one called Biohazard Backlash. And that one, I got 11 people outside of myself across the United States. I think one was in Tokyo at one point. And we kind of do an email draft, so it takes a little while. You got a time limit, 12 hours, 24 hours, however, to make a draft pick, and then it's the next person's pick. When it comes to the rookie picks, kind of like the NFL. You go from worst team to best team to the Fantasy Bowl winner. And so I got Biohazard Backlash. That's the one that I got some random people from. Made some good friends there. And the other one is more of a local one. It's called Radical Armchair. That's my big boy league. That's where we have a belt for the Minnesota champion. We have 10 out of 12 players live here in the Twin Cities. And then 2 outside who are somehow tied to Minnesota. And we have a bracket for somebody to win the belt in Radical Armchair. We have our Fantasy Bowl. And some little fun stuff like that. So I got that Dynasty League. The next step up is called an Empire League. It's run like a Dynasty League, except for when it comes to paying out. What you do is people entry fee. Half the money, the entry fee collected, goes to the person that wins the Fantasy Bowl. The other half goes into what's called an Empire Jackpot. And that one is cumulative, and the only way you can win the jackpot is winning the Fantasy Bowl 2 years in a row. And I started an Empire League, and it's a big league. And to explain a little bit more about it, but it's a 24-team league. It's run like a Dynasty League, but what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate 1 team a year. So the top half of the league goes into the playoffs to play for the Fantasy Bowl, which is half the pot. The other half goes into what's called the play-outs. Some call it like a toilet bowl, whatever you want to call it. But to advance in the play-outs is you have to lose. The winner gets eliminated from the bracket, is which you want to do. Because if you are the last team on week 16, it's going to be 2 teams left, and you lose, you are out of the league. So next year we have 23 teams. The next year after that, 22 teams. And it's run like a dynasty, rookie pick, or rookie draft, I should say. So it's a pretty big league, and it took quite some time to do the email draft. We literally got people across the country, East Coast, West Coast, South Coast, Midwest. So that's 24 people, 24 personalities that you have to deal with. And I tell you what, there is a lot of personalities in this league. It's called Empire Island. So what we did was we split the 24 teams into tribes, aka divisions. And as one division dwindles, what we do is just randomly place them in other tribes until we get down to 10 teams, and we're going to stop eliminating teams once we hit 10. So that jackpot can grow very big. It's going to be very competitive, and I had to make sure I commission it right. So far, I think I'm doing a good job. If you're watching this and you're Empire Island, feel free to comment down below of the blog. Or the blog website, or comment down below here on YouTube. Let me know what you think. So I've been doing a lot of drafts those last couple months, so I haven't been really sitting down thinking about doing geocaches or doing videos. I've been thinking about drafts because most Dynasty leagues, Empire leagues do their rookie drafts shortly after the NFL has their draft, which is in May. So a lot of them start shortly after that, some in June, some in July. My Radical Armchair, we're going to do our draft in August. Simply Irresistible, my Keeper League, we do in August. So summer is a busy time for fantasy football if you're into Empire leagues or Dynasty leagues or Keeper leagues, because rookies are in high demand, and you want to draft the right rookies so you can turn your team completely around. So I apologize for everybody, it's my fault, the commissioner's fault, why we haven't done a video for quite some time. So, but season's coming up here. It starts in September, which is a month and a half away. So we're about a month away from training camp. We're about a month and a half away, we're about a month away from training camp and preseason games. Yeah, we're about 6-7 weeks away from the start of the season. Aren't you excited to be watching me talk about fantasy football during that time? Well, I tell you what, one thing I promised not to do is talk about my personal teams, because nothing is more exciting than talking about your own personal team to other people, and nothing is more boring than listening to somebody else talk about their fantasy football team. So, but remember this guy here, Teddy Bridgewater? Yep. My girlfriend, No C. Becky, is in a couple of my leagues. My Keeper League, one of my Dynasty leagues, Biohazard, and Empire Island. She's in that one. And so I play here week 5, week 8, and week 10. And if you guys remember from previous videos, we play for the Purple Teddy. Yep. The winner between us two, me and No C. Becky, gets to have Teddy Bridgewater join them at their house. Yes, we play for a Purple Teddy, and I'm not ashamed to say that. So I'm gonna sign off. I think Teddy and I are gonna play some cribbage. All right. Yeah, we're gonna play a game or two. Cut for deal. All right. Thanks, Rich. Sorry, guys. Keep on watching. And go to GoFundMe.com and help Rich get to Route 66. All right. All right, thanks guys. Until next time, cut the deal. Thank you, Commish. We'll forgive you this one time. One time. We'll forgive you this one time. Happens again, we're going to get a new host in that spot. Yeah, right. All right, thanks for watching the video blog, guys. And I want to thank you ahead of time. If you go to GoFundMe.com, help out, look up Rich Havoc, and donate so I can have a little bit longer trip. And remember, the top 3 contributors, I'm going to spend some special time with you and just talk about the trip and give you history and give you paraphernalia to choose from. But remember, for every $1 that you donate for me on the trip, I'm going to spend 1/3 of that buying you stuff, Route 66 stuff on the road. All right? So, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay out of trouble. All right, guys? Stay out of trouble. All right? Please. Thanks. We'll see ya.